Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. My name is Nuruliana binti Muhammad Yusof. So in this video, I will explain about interactive usage for linked libraries. So firstly, I will start with question number 1 where we need to find the value of two hexagons. We need to run the program and you can see in the memory the value for string variable here in the address. And firstly, we can start to run the program. Firstly, we need to move the address of site hex1 into the edx. So to remove, we need to call the write string, which is we need to display the value of enter a site value for hexagon 1. And then call a read decimal, which is we need to read the input from the user. And then you can see here the output come out like this, and try to write 5. And then we need to move the value of EIX into hexagon 1, which is 5 into hexagon 1. In the outputs you can see hexagon 1 will have the value of 5, and then the next one we need to move the address of site hex2 into register EDX, and we need to call the write string, which is display the value of site hex2, so which is display the value of site hex2. And then we need to call read decimal, which is reading the input from the user, and try to write 6. The next one, we need to move the value of EIX into hexagon 2. So hexagon 2 will have the value of 6. Next instructions, we need to move the address of string 1 into EDX and call the write string. So we will have to move the value of hexagon 1, which is 5, into EAX. So then EAX will have the value of 5. And try to write this decimal. Here it come out like this, parameter for hexagon with size equal to 5. And then we have to move into the looping. So move EAX into move the value of 0 to EAX. Here EAX will have the value of 0, and counter, the value of counter is 6. So we start to looping now for 6 times. So we need to add EAX with the value of hexagon 1, 5 for 6 times. So we start the looping now. The first value is 5, and we will have to loop for 6 times. Until the value becomes 30. So next we move to the next coding, which is we need to move the value of EIX into parameter hexagon 1, and parameter hexagon 1 will have the value of 30. And then we need to move the address of string 3 into EDX and write string to display the value. And we will have to move the value of parameter hexagon 1 into register EIX and write the decimal. So you can see in the output we'll have the parameter for hexagon 1 with size equal to 5 is 30. So now move to the next, which is we call CRLF to add the new line. So now we will have to move the address of string 2 into register EDX and call the write string. We need to move the value of hexagon 2, which is 6, into EDX and write the decimal. Come out like this is 6. And then we move on. We set the value of EIX into 0, and counter for looping is 6. And now we can start to loop for 6 times. So first value will have the 0. Okay, After 6 time looping, we'll have the value of 36 in EAX, and we will need to move the value of EAX, which is 36, into the parameter hexagon 2. Here the value, and we need to call the right string, which is to display the value, and move the value of parameter hexagon 2 into EAX, and write to decimal to display the value after the looping instructions. Here you can see 36, the value of parameter hexagon 2 is side 6 is 36. We need to line. We need to AX, which have the value 6 parameter has with value. So we need the address into register, which is dot, and which means to write display the value, write the decimal. Yes, decimal. This to the value after and new line. So as you can see the here the total number is 66. The next question will be question number 2, where we need to multiply two integer, which is multiplicand and multiplier. So for now, we need to start the coding. Firstly, we need to clear console. We need to clear the console first, and then we try to move the address of string 1 into register EDX, and then we call the right string to display the value of string 1, and we need to read decimal, which is read decimal from the user input, and then we need to input the value, which is 7, and now we need to move the value of EAX, which is 7, to multiplicand. After we move the value, we need to move the address of string 2 into EDX, and then we call the right string to display the value, and read decimal. Read decimal is from the user. We need to input the value. So now I will input the value of 7 again. EAX will have the value of 7, and then we need to move the value of EAX into multiplier. After we move, multiplier will have the same value, and then we need to add new line. And now we move the address of string 3 into EDX, and call the right string. So now we need to move the multiplicand into register EAX, and call right decimal to display the value. You can see in the output the value multiplication of 7. So now we move the address of 5, which is X, into register EDX, and call the right string, and then we will have to move the value of multiplier into EAX, and call the right decimal to display the value. You can see multiplication of 7 x 7, and now we need to move the value of multiplicands into EBX, and multiply EBX, which is EBX will have to multiply with multiplier, and then we move the EBX into the product, and we have the new line. For the new line, we need to move the address of string 4 into EDX, and add another new line, and write string, write decimal, which is we need to display the value of product, and add new line. You can see the product is 40. And the last question will be question number 3, where we need to find the total odd number and the total even number from integer input by the user. So we need to run the program, and if you can see in the register here, the memory address for the integer, total odd is and total even is. So now we can start the program. Firstly, we need to move the address of string 1 into edx, and we need to call write string, and the next one will need to call read integer, where we need to get the integer value from the user. So now I will write the 54, and now we need to the EAX will have the value of 54, and we need to move the value of EAX into hello, and hello will have the same value as EAX. And now we need to add a new line. The second one will have to move the address of string 1 again to register edx, and call write string. So the next one, we will have to read integer from the user. I try to write 67, and the next one, we will have to move the value of EAX into input variable hello plus 4, and we will have to add a new line. For the next one, we'll have to move the address of string 1 again to the edx, and we need to call the write string and call read integer from the user. Yes, 33, and we need to move the value of EAX into hello plus egg, the next value for hello, and add a new line, and the next one will have the same steps. And we need to move the value of EAX, which is 78, into hello plus 12. And the next one will be the same. And move the value of EAX into hello plus 16. We need to have as from the data here, hello the word 6 duplicate, we need to have 6 array of the words. So we need to repeat the steps for 6 times. This is the last one, which is 35. I'll put the value of 35. And the last one we will have to move the value of EAX into hello plus 20 and add new lines. So for now, we'll have to move the address of hello into EDI and register. Okay. So now we need to set the value of EAX into 0, and counter will have to loop for 3 times. Okay, in the looping one, we need to transfer the value of EDI with register EDI into EAX, and EDI will be added by egg and loop again for 3 times. So EDI will have the value of 4214 4856. Now move on. We need to transfer the value of EAX, which is 98, into the total odd one, and then we we need to move the address of hello +4 into EDI and set the EAX with 0 and counter with 3 for looping. And the next one will be the count looping number 2, where we need to add the register EDI with register EAX, and EDI will be added by 8 and loop again for 3 times. Okay, EAX will have the value of 180 and it will be moved to total even 2. Total even 2 will have the value of 180, and we need to move the address of string 2. String 2 is total odd is to register EDX, and call arrive string 2, which is to display the value. And the value of total odd, which is set 98, will be moved into register EAX and write the decimal, display the value, and add new line. You can see total odd is 98, and which is we need to display the string number 3, which is total even is, and then call write string to display the string, and we need to move the value of total evens, which is 180, into register EAX and write decimal, call write decimal to display the value and add new lines. In the output we can see the total even is 180.